Hello and thanks for joining us on Africa Independent Television. Welcome to Democracy Today. I am Ijeoma Osamor. It's 107 days, if you like, call it 15 weeks or 4 months to the 2019 presidential election in Nigeria. In the next 48 hours, the apex electoral body in Nigeria, INEC, will close the submission of candidates for the 2019 general elections. The last day for submission of names of candidates by political party is for governorship, particularly for governorship and the state legislative houses, is November 2. And while the APC in Rivers State is still battling with the challenge of its internal wrangling and legal tussle, the PDP is making moves to settle scores with INEC's decision to recognize candidates from the Senator Buruji-led faction of Ogun State, Southwest Nigeria. This will be part of our discussion on the program tonight, as we have joining us in the studio the National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Kola Ologbondiyan. We'll also be joining INEC via telephone to also explain to us. Now, Mr. Kola Ologbondiyan, welcome to Democracy Today.
Thank you very much, Ayoma.
What is the party's anger with what INEC has done?
Well, our anger is that INEC crossed the lines. In the extant rules governing election in Nigeria, INEC has no powers to shop for candidates on the streets of any state and present such candidates as the candidates of a political party. And that exactly is what they have done in Ogun State. We submitted a list of our candidates to INEC earlier enough, and INEC has abandoned that list and claimed to have collected or secure other candidates that didn't participate in our processes. And our anger is that if INEC went in that direction, it is a compromised organization.
You're saying INEC is compromised already?
And if they go in that direction, if they went on that direction, then they are a compromised commission. And that's our position in the People's Democratic Party.
Well, we have the Director, Voter Education and Publicity from INEC. We have him right here on the telephone. Is on the other side, Osaze Uzi. Mr. Uzi, thank you for joining us on Democracy Today.
Good evening, and thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. So now let's take a look. You heard what the PDP says. They said if INEC decides to take the candidates from the Buruji-led faction, that means INEC is compromised. Is the commission compromised?
Well, I'm sure they don't mean that. What I don't know about taking a list of candidates from any faction. We take, and the policy has been well established, I think the law is well settled, that it is a party through its national officers, executive, who decide who the candidates of a party are in accordance with the law. But if there are intervening actions, if there is a court order, we are a law-abiding institution and are obliged to comply with whatever the courts have interpreted the law to be. So basically, that's what it is.
Ms. Auzi,
yes.
The court order is coming from an high court.
Yes.
And you just confirmed that the Supreme Court, up to the Supreme Court, it is the national body of the party that is that has the powers to submit a list of candidates. So which do you respect? The law, the Nigerian law, the Supreme Court judgment or ruling that is still standing, and the order from the High Courts?
Well, you see, the principle was established by the Supreme Court in a number of cases. But in this specific case, the courts have interpreted. And we said we'll have to take this list in compliance with the order pending. And if it is set aside by a superior court, then we'll change it. The Supreme Court has not decided on this particular matter. The highest court that has decided on this matter now is the High Court. So for now, for this case, this particular case, looking at the circumstances and the facts, the court has decided. I cannot extrapolate from what the Supreme Court said in another case. It will establish a principle, but it's the courts to interpret. INEC does not interpret the thing on except administratively. But for now, for this particular case, a ruling has been given. Of course, anybody who's deciphered can approach the Court of Appeal and escalate it all the way to the Supreme Court. And whichever the court says, if the Court of Appeal says otherwise, we will obey the Court of Appeal. If it just feels like it goes to the Supreme Court, we will obey the Supreme Court decision. But we are obliged. We cannot now say, in another case, the Supreme Court has said it, so we will not obey a court order in this particular case.
Okay, just hold on, please. You heard him.
Yes, he declared in the beginning that the only authority in the political party to nominate candidates are the national chairman and the national secretary of the party. Is he claiming that there is a conflict between that rule and what the court has asked the INEC to do? Because what's available to the People's Democratic Party is that the court did not order INEC to accept candidates. The court ordered that it recognizes a chapter or the ESCO of that, a particular ESCO in that chapter. But if the court says it recognizes an ESCO of that chapter, the chapter cannot conduct primaries. The candidates that INEC had claimed to have recognized did not purchase nomination form from the People's Democratic Party headquarters in Abuja. They did not participate in any electoral process, including party primaries. So INEC is acting against the law. It cannot come out and claim that it's obeying the law. Which law is it obeying?
So, Mr. Ozzy.
Yes.
You heard what he said. INEC is supposed to recognize the state executive. That's what the court says. And on this particular issue, they didn't purchase form. And the national headquarters...
See, these are arguments you prefer in a court of law, not in the newsroom. You go to court and get that order set aside if you feel it has not complied with extant laws as interpreted by the Supreme Court. I cannot in my own office, in my boardroom, or you in the newsroom, now say, oh, the court was wrong. Yes, the court probably is wrong, but it's not for us to say so. It is for us or any dissatisfied party to go to court to get it set aside. And in the publication of the thing, it's quite clear. This thing is put there by court order. We didn't say it came from people anywhere. It came by court order. And everybody, the rule of law dictates that everybody must obey court law, including the People's Democracy and any other political party that finds itself in that situation. We cannot come and try to disparage a court ruling outside of the courtroom, the hallowed chambers of courts. We'll go to court and get it set aside, and we'll comply. If the Court of Appeal or the Supreme Court or the same court sets it aside, we'll be very happy to put the list of candidates that the national chairman and secretary have signed to us. We'll be very obliged to do that. All
right, thank you very much, Mr. Ozzy, for being a part of this discussion tonight. And now, what is your party planning to do? Are you going to set aside?
No, we are in court already to set aside that order.
Did you serve INEC?
Oh, of course, INEC has been served.
So what does that mean now? You rather prefer not to have candidates in Ogun State?
No, there's no way we have candidates already. We submitted the list of our candidates for INEC either on 13th or on the 18th of October. And if you look at the form that you put on the screen there,
can we see the form, please?
If you look at the nomination of the candidates, and if you look at the action of
can we get the form?
If you look at the action of INEC, it's on the 30th of October. INEC acknowledged our list of candidates. They acknowledged the receipt of our candidates. And they are aware that the other group that they are talking about did not participate in any of their process. So they went shopping for candidates outside the party. That's what they have done. And that's the point that we are making. The court order they are claiming did not in specific terms say that they should adopt candidates from the Dio-led, Adebayo Dio-led ESCO. That's not what the order says. The order says recognition. But Adebayo Dio's ESCO cannot conduct primary by itself for any candidate. That's the position we are making. And even yesterday night, when they went to submit these names,
was it last night they submitted the name?
Look at
but this letter, we got this letter earlier by 5 p.m.
30th of October.
By 5 p.m.
30th of October.
We got it by 5 p.m.
They went there last night to submit the list, and the legal director, discovering that their list was not endorsed by the national chairman of the PDP and the national secretary of the PDP, abandoned the process. Because the law provides that it's only the national chairman and the national secretary that can nominate candidates.
All right, I would like to thank you, Mr. Kola Alogbodiyan, the National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party. Hopefully we'll have a full time. We'll take a look at this issue when it gets to the next stage. It's a developing issue, and when we get to the next stage, we will take a look at it. But Mr. Ologbondiyan is leaving us now. I thought he will be with us on the second segment of the program, but he said he has a meeting. He has to rush to that meeting. We'll just take a break here and bring you what the political parties are saying about security and the 2019 election. We were at the Young Progressive Party. Let's hear them.
The nation today is fighting a war against insurgency in the northeast, managing the crisis of militancy in the Niger Delta, confronted with the challenge of insurrection in the southeast, and already overwhelmed with the incessant herdsmen killing in the north central, with the Nigerian police and military already overstretched with several operations across the country. It is only a matter of time that the entire security apparatus will collapse for the reign of complete anarchy if urgent steps are not taken to swiftly rethink our approach.
And this is Otana Community. As election time nears, politicians arrive with money. Members of Ikolo community sell their vote, but Otana Community refuses to be settled. They vote for the candidates of their choice.
I do solemnly swear that everything
After election, the Ikolo school needs repairs, but the politician has already settled them. Otana Hospital needs repairs too. Otana Community demands action and gets results. Your vote is powerful. It builds the future. Don't be settled.
No sit-down look.
No sit-down look.
All right, last night we started with the issue of security and citizens' rights to protest. We shall take a look at another angle of that issue. Our guest will beam searchlight on the issue of safety of lives and property during elections in Nigeria as the stage is getting set for another round of election. I have joining me in the studio an expert in human rights law and a researcher based in the United Kingdom, Comrade Philip Agbese. You're welcome to Democracy Today.
Thank you so much.
Let's go straight to security issue. I have seen some of your write-up. You wrote to Lai Mohammed. You wrote on the Plateau killings. But look at what happened in Abuja yesterday. What is this? What is the implication of these security threats to Nigerian election in 2019?
The political actors I also mean religious leaders who are also card-carrying members of certain political parties, all acting negatively, on the preparation, on the processes leading to the general election in 2015. And I think it is something that should call for concern, because violence at this stage should not be part and parcel of our electoral process as far as the general election is concerned.
You talk about negatively. What is the meaning of that? What do you mean by acting negatively?
Yeah, religious leaders today are inciting their followers against the government. They're also inciting their followers against responsible citizens of the country. Like what happened on Saturday in Abuja here, where military...
Even yesterday.
Yes, and even yesterday, where military officials were conducting their lawful duty were being, harassed, by adherents of a particular religion. I think that amounts to terrorism. And if you look at it critically, with yesterday's demonstration, where members of a certain political parties, are now beginning to participate. Yesterday we saw people like Charles Oputa, Charlie Boy.
Is he a member of a political party?
For a very long time, he has aligned himself with, the dictates of the People's Democratic Party, we must not shy away from that. You know, people don't go out with their membership cards on their head, but through their actions, you know, you get to know where they belong. And of course, the Deaju was a member of the PDP just yesterday. I think the new media group, Timmy Frank, who has issued, you know, statement calling on the international community. And when you see that, you see some of these statements inviting the international community. They talk about setting rights, you know, setting rights, and you begin to wonder if they even know the rights in the first instance. For instance, Timmy Frank was talking about, I think, right to life, that the military shot at Shiites and the Shiites. But the fundamental question, you know, because for me, the casualty figure, just 3 persons, despite all this Buhara, you know, it shows how professional our military has been, you know, in...
You're talking about just 3 persons, the life of one human being. Is it not important for you?
No, it is very important to the extent, you know, that, okay, for instance, let us look at what happened. More than 1 million persons were actually protesting and resisting lawful authority and, you know, try to overrun legitimate institutions that are placed. For instance, people talk about the right of people to protest. Don't I have a right to have peace? Look at yesterday that people were stopped from moving out of, you know, people have come into town, they have walked for 8 hours, they were moving out of the town, and these people barricaded the road. You have your right to protest. Shouldn't I have my right to motorways? Shouldn't I have my right to peace? You see, we cannot continue to miss these things. You see, sometimes when we say that the security agencies have acted disproportionately, you now begin to ask, don't you think that it is 1,000 persons to 1 soldier man? How many soldiers do we have on the road? How many police guys do we have here? 1,000 soldiers, you know, trying to...
Sorry, I will have to come in here
persons.
to ask you a question.
Please.
Is it the duty of the military to not begin to take the job of the police?
Fantastic. Thank you so much. You see, these are 2 different scenarios. The military was not invited to stop legitimate protesters who were carrying out, you know, their civic responsibility at a point, at a place in, at a particular point. It was not as if there was crisis in the country and the government has, you know, mandated the military to wade in. The military, like every other, you know, rightful citizen of our country, they were moving about their lawful and legitimate duty. And these persons tried to stop them. And you see, when we are also looking at it, remember that Abuja is like the city of Jericho mentioned in the Bible. This is a city that has been attacked at least 8 times with bombs. We have lost not less than 1,000 persons in Abuja as a result of bombs. So is that not enough that when people are processing and moving on a procession into the federal...
procession,
yes, that when people... Good, fantastic.
I wanted to
that when
ask
people
you,
are on a procession into the federal capital territory,
Mr. Gbese,
don't you think...
Mr. Gbese, is going for religious procession a terrorist act?
Thank you so much.
Is it a terrorist act?
You see, under the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, right to religion, thought, and conscience is captured in Article 18. But Article 18 is not an absolute right. It is a limited right. The right that you have to practice your religion, your thought and conscience, and even the right not to proclaim any religion at all has a limitation in Section 2 of that right. And the limitation is the fact that you must practice this religion in conformity with the principles of a democratic society.
So what is the conformity? In our constitution, the citizens have the right to protest.
The right,
it's written there.
Yes, but it must be, it's just like I want to go out tomorrow to protest, and we know that we are going to be giving the police, the state actors, an extra obligation, an extra duty. And the police is saying, no, we do not have enough manpower, you know, to provide security for you. And remember, that when you are protesting, okay, just like the situation today, 400 persons have been arrested by the police, and the leaders of this procession are now saying these persons are not our members. Who is to be held responsible? That is why the police will tell you, conduct yourself in a peaceful manner, make sure that you know all the people participating in this protest.
Okay, now let me ask you this question, Mr. Gbese. You talked about the military were going their way on their own. I wanted us to look at these and take a look at it towards 2019 election, because this is the period of pre-election year, and we really need to be careful and don't allow security challenges tamper with the election for 2019. You talked about the soldiers, the military, they're going their way, and they saw this. Were they going their way in Nyanya when the thing happened? Were they on their way at the Usetu area when it happened? Were they on their way in Kanu, Kaduna, and other states? Why are they always meeting these people? They are always on their way, according to you.
No, but I think the question, and you see the problem here towards the election and our daily life, is that we continue to indulge, people that we have seen that their plans are against, the development of our society. The fundamental question should be, why is it always this group of people called the Islamic Movement of Nigeria? Because they have beaten up our police before, they've beaten up fellow citizens, they've beaten up the army. So why always this group of people? I think that should be the question.
Now, I should ask you the question, why are they always falling out with the military?
Fantastic.
Then you need to answer that question.
Thank you so much.
Good.
You see, you have passed through a place like Okene before, and I see that on Fridays, most times they close the road. But it is not to the extent that they use bulala to flog people.
Did you see that on any screen?
The Islamic Movement of Nigeria, they are fond of doing that. We've heard testimonies. I attended the Kaduna State Judicial Commission of Inquiry that was set up where people came to give testimonies. Even the brother of the man being held in custody by the government, the brother to Ezagzaki, came and testified that his brother was engaging himself in terrorism acts.
Anyway, Mr. Agbese, I would have loved us to continue with this issue, but let's look at it going forward. 2019 election and security challenges. You saw what happened in Kaduna. We've had case. You even wrote an article on the Plateau killings. Are we going to have a safe 2019 election with this kind of killings that we have every day?
Truth, we must learn to tell ourselves. Nothing but the truth. Like what happened in Plateau State, the article you read was about the killing of a major general, a man who joined the army at a tender age of 28.
The man's body was found today.
Yes, gave his 35 years of service to our country. The people he protected, the people he fought for, he was not killed by Boko Haram. The very people he protected, upon retirement to have a peaceful rest with his family, turned against him, killed him,
what is the implication of this insecurity and security challenges to the election 2019?
It is very clear. The politicians, they have to define the modus operandi. Okay. The desperation to win at all costs by people, is what is fueling this crisis. Because some people have made up their mind that, Nigeria the existence of Nigeria should cease if they cannot win the election in 2015. And that doesn't make them good statement. And all these crises, left, right, and center, hate speeches from altars, respected altars, and everywhere that we hear today, they are all building up to this. Like the Shite issue, it's not just a today's affair. Yesterday, I watched a video. Where the man Ezagzaki was saying that allow the military to come in, run them up, kill them.
Mr. Agbese, you don't have proof of those facts.
I do. I have a video.
I don't go by online videos. I want proof of facts, factual proof. If you are saying it, we should have facts.
Invite me here again. I'm going to come with loads of documents.
Not videos from.
Not the
fake
internet.
news.
I am telling you documents that were tendered before the Kaduna.
Right. Mr. Agbese, we'll have more time to talk about this because I'm going to bring somebody to join you on set. I am not the one to say it because I don't have them. I wasn't there, but I know that somebody who also have facts to counter yours will join you on this program one of these days to look at the issue of security in Nigeria. I thank you for being a part of this program. And this is where we say thank you for being a part of this. Remember that you can like our page on Facebook, Democracy Today. Follow us on our Twitter handle at Democracy2Day with a double Y. And also follow me on my Twitter handle. Drop a comment with me on my Twitter handle. When Agbese is coming again, those who think that they have questions for him will definitely get your question and put it before him. Until then, I am Ijeoma Osamor. Good night.